A tidal wave of taxes is headed your way, courtesy of legislators who claim there's no place left to cut state spending. Which begs the question, are they living in the same state we are? This is Talk Back, and I'm Amber Gunn. We've cut to the bone. If I had $1 for every time a legislator said that this year, we probably could have put a pretty sizable dent in the current budget deficit. Because these same legislators claim there's nothing left to cut, their job now is to convince those of us who pay the bills that the only alternative is to raise taxes. There's nothing moderate or subtle about the tax increases currently proposed by Governor Gregoire and the legislature. If Democratic legislators have their way, a few months from now you'll be paying more for gasoline, cigarettes, candy, gum, soda, pipe tobacco, pesticides, fertilizer, collector coins, bottled water, out of fingers, and canned food with meat in it. They're also proposing to double the death tax, and they're proposing a hike on the taxes you pay every time you buy something while you're still living. Joy. They're also proposing to hike fees on midwives, interior designers, nursing homes, tanning salons, appraisal companies, ballot initiatives, water rights, and deeds of trust, among others. Tax hikes of some sort are inevitable at this point, but not for lack of options, but lack of leadership. If things are really so desperate in this state that the only alternatives are to hike taxes or risk people losing their feet or dying in the streets, then why in the world are we spending $250 million for a new agency headquarters or a palatial $774 a square foot for a new heritage center in Olympia? And here are a few more questions for legislators claiming there's no place left to cut. Why is the state in the tourism business? Why is the state in the liquor business? Why doesn't the state consider privatizing some parks? Why doesn't the state sell some of its public land to raise revenue? Why haven't we implemented all of State Auditor Sontag's performance audit recommendations? And why is the state still spending money on public art when healthcare is on the chopping block? Why doesn't the state contract out some of its services to save money? And why are taxpayers still picking up 88% of public employee healthcare costs when the private sector standard is far lower? Why are 40% of state employees still getting raises when 166,000 people in this state have lost their jobs altogether in the last 2 years? The fact that legislators are willing to hold taxpayers hostage with the threat of cutting vital public safety and health services while these expenditures are still going on illustrates a backdoor culture of sloth and indifference. The truth is, legislators haven't come close to exhausting all their options when it comes to balancing the budget. And until they do, they have no business turning to us for a bailout. Now, imagine this. Imagine if legislators decided to do their job. Imagine if, instead of fleecing taxpayers every couple of years to pay for their undisciplined spending, they decided to define the role of government and prioritize spending accordingly. Imagine if instead of facing the prospect of paying more for virtually everything you buy, you could look forward to a government with predictable tax rates, knowing that your taxes won't go up, and you could continue to prioritize your money as you see best, rather than as some politician decides. But politicians aren't going to prioritize spending unless we, the voters, make them. Some of them just plain don't get it, and if they don't get it now, when it's more important than ever, they probably never will. Well, we elected these people, and we can unelect them. November is right around the corner, and it's time politicians owned up to their choices. Will you remind them? It's your choice. It's your country.